Hey everybody, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra. Here with Scotty at the Glock booth with the new for 2023 stuff. Glock just announced a performance trigger.
KSG Armory makes a high-quality, affordable holster, whether outside the waistband, inside the waistband, or appendix carry. We are proud to have them in the holster consortium. Use coupon code ASP2020 at the link in the description for 10% off.
Glock Gen 1 through 5 is, everybody knows how that trigger works.
Yep.
But this one works very different.
Very different, yeah.
Well, tell us about it.
Okay, so let's start off with the older system, all right? So the older system.
Again, everybody, in case you've forgotten it, they're all tagged out guns. None of the guns can fire here. It's a show. Deal with it.
So on the older system, the way the triggers work, generations 1 through 5, as a matter of fact, the back of the trigger bar actually had a cross to it.
Right, so you see the cruciform system in the rear of the trigger. This is the way Glock has worked for forever, right?
And the firing pin lug captures the back, it grabs the back of the trigger bar.
Right, and then as it goes, it drops out of the way.
Exactly.
Releases the trigger, so you got to tension the trigger.
Exactly.
In order to get it going. So it kind of was in like a half cock.
Yeah, so pressing the trigger energizes the firing pin on the older system. Yes, that's correct. When we go to the new performance trigger, the trigger bar has actually been redesigned, so there's no cross to the trigger bar.
No cross in there, so instead, you got a mesh down in there.
Yeah, so you have a sear that's built down into the housing. You got a sear that's connected with two bars on the side with a spring holding everything together. And it's installed down inside of the housing.
So as you move this one, right, what you're noticing is that you got the sear here that engages
the firing pin lug now is engaging the sear. On the old system, the firing pin lug was engaging the back of the trigger bar, the cross of the trigger bar. On the new performance trigger, the firing pin lug is now engaging the sear. So as the trigger's moving to the rear, the newly designed trigger bar is going to compress. It moves this way, so it's pressing down on the sear to release the firing pin.
And so now what you're getting is instead of it being a system that's energizing as you press the trigger, it's already
energized,
okay.
Yes.
So you're now going to a full cock trigger instead of kind of a half cock trigger on there, which I think some folks might think about that and go, well, it's not as safe. It's a striker fire gun. It's as safe as it's going to be.
And the safety still worked the same. We didn't have to change any of the Mr. Glock's patented design, the safe action system. We didn't have to change anything. So the safeties, the trigger safety, the firing pin safety, the drop safety, they still work the same. They still sequentially disengage one by one until the gun goes bang. Gun goes bang, slide cycles. And as we're getting off the trigger, the safeties are re-engaging in reverse order.
So now, this guy then ends up with about a 4.5 pound trigger?
About 4.5 pound pull.
With a dot.
It comes with the dot. It comes standard with the dot connector, and we've already been fielding questions about, well, can we use a minus connector? Yes, you can use a minus connector. Yes, it will give you a lot of trigger pull, okay? Right now, we're just shipping it with the dot connector only. I don't know.
4.5 pounds in a striker gun is probably about as light as you want.
I don't know if we're gonna release it with minus connectors in there, but right now, it's only shipping with the dot connector.
So if you look at it and you feel it, so it comes up very little, some pre-travel, that's what you're gonna get there. A nice defined wall, almost no over travel, so that's good. It's different. This is a little different thing. Now if you watch as it cycles, it actually depresses just a little further. You can feel, I don't know that you'll feel that in live fire, I haven't had a chance to live fire it, and then resets pretty short and comes right back. Now, I've said this a million times, we joke about Glock perfection, and then of course, you go put a new connector bar in it, and you go put some different sights on it, you do this and that and the other thing. I think that's a good upgrade.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think it definitely makes the trigger not as kind of mushy, and so a little tighter, and I think it's a good upgrade. So this is just going to be shipping with the newer guns?
No, it's not going to ship in any guns, okay? It's going to be a drop-in component. Okay. So you can go to the online web store and order it. It retails at $99. So if you want it, it fits in all Gen 5 family of guns, the compact, the subcompact, compact, and full size. It does not work in the newly released Gen 5 G21 and G20s because those frames are much bigger.
It has a whole different monster.
Yeah, whole different monster, yes,
okay,
sir.
So $99 drop-in upgrade and a little bit different. Are you going to start shipping guns with that at any point?
Don't know right now. At the moment, the plans is just to sell it as a drop-in component.
Yeah, okay. So listen, I think the cool part of that to me is there's a ton of aftermarket Glock triggers, right? 100 companies makes them, but when the factory makes it, now
you keep that reliability.
Yeah, it's an OEM part now, and now you're doing an OEM part with an upgrade to the system. That's probably preferable. Yeah. So, hey man, thanks so much for the knowledge.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure. Yeah, man.